Hey people, it's Kelly of Print Pray Slay. Another video of me. um, if you can tell by the title of this video that it's going to be a whole different type of video, I've actually been thinking about how I would do this video over and over for like 2 years since this occurred 2 years ago. And today I happened to think about how I went to a wedding and a lot of people came up to me that they attend my husband's old church before we got married and went and found a new church together. And so they've seen my husband grow up, and so they follow me on Facebook and have known about my story a bit and all my highlights. So they came and they were like, "We're so proud of you for stepping out there on faith and doing what God has, made you out to be." And that felt really good because I've never done it before. So if you haven't noticed by the title of this video, I have all my notes here. I think I'm going to call it "Why I Quit My Six-Figure Job." That title alone already puts like a lot of my personal business out there. But I really feel like this video may help somebody walk in the purpose that God has for them. So my background is in finance. I graduated from a high school where you got to pick your major, and I picked the Academy of Finance. And from there, I developed this love for business. So I went on to Morgan State, go Bears. That's where I met my husband and where I obtained my undergrad degree in business administration. Then I went on to College Park, go Terps, University of Maryland, where I earned my MBA. I then entered a life of entrepreneurship, owned a hair salon, and started a keepsake business where I did like photo books and stuff like that for people, board books and all of that. And then I got the opportunity to work for the government. So fast forwarding a bit, a lot of my life is mixed up in there, but to get to the point of how I got to the six figures, I think is important. I wanted to go to college to study arts. I wanted to be a fashion designer and stuff like that. Like, I was so excited. But I live in an area where you should grow up and get a good government job. I live in a DMV, which is DC, Maryland, and Virginia, that whole metropolitan area. And we have what is considered probably the most government agencies in the United States in our one area. So it's very easy for someone to make it. Well, it's not very easy. It is something that we know is very possible to make it to a six-figure salary. As a matter of fact, the county that I live in is considered the richest African-American affluent county in America, which is Prince George's County. And so I say all that to say that climbing that ladder, that corporate ladder, and getting that good government job was like you have arrived, like a status. And it was a goal. It was like my goal: by 30, make six figures, own a business, buy a home, be married, have 3 kids, a dog. I did all of that. I did all of that by 30. Like, on my 30th birthday cake, my husband took pictures of all of the goals that I made, and all of them were on the cake. And I was so thankful, especially since I had that experience being an entrepreneur and how hard that is. I had this conversation with God, and I was like, if you give me a good job, I promise you, I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to do what I got to do, and I'm going to be the best employee that I can be, because entrepreneurship was just so hard. And it's so different when you now have dependents, like you're married, you got kids and all that other stuff. So, I appreciated my job. Working for the government was a wonderful experience. It allowed me financial freedom. It allowed me to go on vacations, to provide the medical care that my children need, because a lot of you know my children have sickle cell disease. To purchase my first home, like me and my husband, we built our first home. So that job was an amazing opportunity to me. I will never discount that. However, it wasn't my passion, and something in me was like dying. Like, I don't want to be too dramatic, but it felt like that. Like, to the point, like, I'm gonna be real transparent in this video. Like I would go to work and I would shut the door, like, to my office. So I had an office and everything, and I would cry. I would shut the door and I would cry, like, more often than you probably should. Like, I know how some people like dread Mondays. Monday was every day. And it shouldn't be like that, because it was a wonderful agency. It had wonderful people there. I miss the people that are there. It's just that I wasn't able to be creative. Remind you, I was working in finance. You mess around and be creative in finance, you're going to find yourself state property. So that was just not the place to be creative. And so I even tried to find another government agency where I could be creative. And I did, but it was still, from talking to the people, it was still structured in the way that that government agency had you be that graphic designer. You wasn't about to be out here doing a whole bunch of creative things. And so I felt like my gifts I was losing them. If you don't use it, you lose it. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. And I showed you guys this before in my prayer journal, like the last prayer that I wrote in there before I started writing in my seasonal prayer journals that I created, the summer, winter, fall, spring. Before I started those, I wrote a prayer, like, and it wasn't the first prayer. So don't think like, oh, she prayed once and God just was like, boom. It really wasn't like that. I didn't know what God had for me to learn. I knew I was there for a purpose. I didn't know what I had to get out of that experience before he allowed me to move forward. But I was like begging, like I was literally on my knees in my office, crying tears. Just, I wanted to be able to be who he created me to be. And I felt like I wasn't working in my purpose. I had already started Print, Pray, Slay. And that gave me this umph of, you're kind of working in your purpose now. Like, look at you, you're being creative. You're helping people with their Bible studies, and you're helping people love, the Word of God and all of that, and really, really being encouraging. And like, that's my gift, is encouragement. But it still felt like something was missing. So in the government, you have these wonderful perks. And one of them is called a TSP. Again, I teach financial literacy. TSP, that's important to me. It's a thrift savings plan. And so I was like, I put so much in. It's like a 401k for someone else. I put so much into it. I don't want to lose this. And I've learned, like, I climbed the ladder and got to a certain GS level where I was like, do I want to continue to go forward? But I'm only growing deeper into the lifestyle that I really don't want. And after I talked to people that were above me in pay and in rank and everything, I was like, well, what is your regret? And it was like, I shouldn't have strived for this grade. I shouldn't have went for this promotion. I shouldn't have tried to be a boss, because all I did was take away the time that I really wanted with my kids. And like, I remember my husband, I called him on my lunch break, like, oh, what are you and Mr. doing? That's what we call our baby boy, our firstborn, Mr. And he was like, you're not going to believe this. I'll send you a video. Y'all, he sent that video, and my baby boy was crawling. He was moving without me, and I missed it. And that meant the world to me, and it crushed me. And I missed a whole bunch of other stuff. And it's because you prioritize, like, oh, my family needs this job. We need this house. We need these vacations. We need. And it's like, well, what are you really worth? Like, are you worth those 6 figures? Are you worth more? Is it worth missing out on all those moments? And for a lot of people, especially in my type of situation where you got the kids with the health situation and you got 3 kids, you're like, oh yeah, it's worth it. Like, I need to provide. But I felt like I wasn't providing something anyway, with all the money, all of the gifts, all of the vacations, all of the time. As a matter of fact, we didn't even go on that many vacations. Like, just think about us trying to get on a plane to go just to New York. I told you I'm in DC, Maryland. It's 4 hours away. Even if every person had to pay $200, that's a G. So that's a lot for us to even go anywhere. But we made it happen. And so I made this plan. And I was like, my goal is to, one, be able to keep my TSP. I can't keep my health benefits. That was the kicker. But I do want to be able to keep my retirement fund that I built up. And I want to be able to, was that it? Oh, financial freedom. So we had this thing we were doing in the office, and I stood up, y'all, and I was like, I'm financially free. I paid off my student loans. We had the truck note, but only by choice. I know that sounds weird. If I could explain it to you, I'd explain it to you. But we had the money to pay that off. And I was like, I'm financially free. Like, I'm out of debt. Oh, I still have the house too. I don't count the houses. You know, that's a whole 30-year, 15-year type situation. Still striving for that. But I felt like anything consumer debt other than your house, get it off the books, and then I can move forward. And as soon as I said that, I was like, I feel like supervisors were like, not that supervisors put you in this trap where, oh, they had a kid, they need this job. Oh, they got student loan debt, they need this job. It's not necessarily like that, but it is this security of, oh, we know that we can count on her because I know she needs this job. And I really wanted to relieve myself of that part. And then that is like a form of slavery to me. Like, I just can't do it. So I'm financially free. I got this going on. I'm like, okay, I'm on this path. And to keep my TSP, I need 10 years in. I talked to my husband. He was not with the plan. He was like, we got these 3 kids, these 2 dogs. Well, at the time, we had 2 dogs, but then we end up having 1 dog. We got this new house. It's a lot going on. Just stick it out. Like, just, do it. That made me cry even more because I felt like, oh, dang, my best friend isn't in my corner. God, you told me, that whole God, you said this, that, and the third. Nowhere in there did he say this is going to be easy and this is the direct path to where you are trying to go. At this point, I still don't know where I'm going. So, my plan was to be organized. And I told my husband, I said, I only need 10 years. In 10 years, it'll be March 2020. March 2020, I'm going to leave the government. And he was like, well, in order to leave, I would want this amount in the bank to feel comfortable. I was like, cool, bam, put that in the bank. Print Praise Lay is up and running. I can do it. And he was like, you're getting closer to the date now. I really would feel more comfortable with more money in the bank. And I was like, And God blessed me through the ministry of Print Praise Lay. Print Praise Lay has afforded me the opportunity to have this financial freedom that I'm so grateful for. And that is honestly because of the support that you all have given to me as well. And so I put that money in the bank. And he was like, oh, I see you. Like, you real serious. And I was like, yeah, except for in actions. It's easy for me to save money, right? Like, I'm like, oh, save money. I can tuck money away. I'm financially, savvy. I never contacted my job. So I was like, wow, I didn't do anything. I didn't forget about it, but it was March and I was like, I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't made any plans or nothing. Do you all remember what happened in March 2020? It was a big thing for all of us. COVID, right? So here I go. I stay home. And I have that feeling, that void is like fulfilled. I'm spending that time with my family. Life is slowed down. It's not this hustle and bustle type of thing. For 2 weeks straight, it was just chill. And I was like, this is the life. This is the one. This is what I was talking about. This is what I need. And then the 2 weeks went by, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to go back to work. I'm not really. Oh, COVID is serious. Like, it's a real situation. And so they shut down everything, including the government. However, my position is essential for the government. So eventually I had to go back to work. And I was like, I can't do that. I don't know what this COVID thing is. My kids, their immune system is compromised. It was just, I was scared to go back. With the unknown. We didn't have a vaccine or nothing at this time. So they understood the situation. They let me stay home. Eventually I had to file for a leave of absence. Which allowed me to stay home, but it would be with no pay. And I'm like, okay, So print, pray, slay is cool, but that 6 figures that we're used to making, that's not what print, pray, slay is doing right now. So I'm gonna need something to like balance that. And so I ended up calling my business teacher from high school. And her and I had talked multiple times about me becoming a teacher, and I always was like, no, like teachers do not make enough money for the lifestyle that I want to live. I cannot do that. Well, I called her and she was like, I think you should try it this time, this, that, and that. And I was like, y'all still not making the money. Like, what's going on with the money? And we had a real heart to heart. And in that conversation, I really was like, let me give it a try. So I interviewed with this school, and it was the best interview I ever had in my life. It was natural. Like in the interview, they even asked me, like, you sure you never talked before? I never talked. As a matter of fact, I'm an introvert. I don't even know how I'm going to do this. Like, it's going to be a roller coaster ride. And they offered me the job on the spot. And I was so excited. I cried and I ran upstairs and I told my husband how excited I was to become a teacher. But I specifically wanted to do what I wanted to do. And what I wanted to do was give young people in my community the opportunity to learn finances so they can have the financial freedom to do what I just did, which was to pay off their debt if they have it, if they even have it. And when you free up that space, you free up your mind and you allow yourself to take chances that you can't take when you are bound financially. So the only reason I'm able to be there is because I'm financially free from my previous job, print, pray, slay, and this whole gumbo. I'm from New Orleans. This whole gumbo of opportunity that God had placed in my path. So that is how it happened. There were a lot of nuggets. I have never had a more harder, tougher job in my life than being a high school business teacher. It is not the kind of job where you can be like, oh, my stomach hurt. Let me sit at this desk for like an hour, chill. I'm using this as my lunch break. No, it's like being an actress. I actually sit in class and be like, and scene. And then I start doing me and teaching them what's on the lesson plan for the day. You're in there and you have to go. And you get pulled in different directions. And I love all of it. Like all of it. Like I never had a day where I was like, oh, I gotta go to work. I don't care if it's raining, if it's snowing. It's weird to the point where it's summertime right now and I'm thinking about school. I'm like, ooh, let me look at this TED Talk and learn this and teach this and make this new outline, and maybe I can do this to encourage my scholars. Like those are my kids. Those are my babies. Those are my scholars. I love my new career. I never said that before. And I had 3 jobs in college. Okay. Like I had a slew of jobs. All jobs, which is different from a career. So I quit my 6-figure job to follow the path that God had for me. And I know that my situation may seem like it was set up in the perfect, like a whole alley-oop layup type situation. Obviously, I don't play sports. But you know the one when the guy throw it up and the other guy, it's easier for him to dunk it. That one. That might seem like what my life was from the story that I told you all. But please remember the time when I was telling you I was on my knees crying. I still had to be a good steward of those 6 figures. There are people that make the money I make. There are people I know that make more money than I make. And because they're not good with that money, they aren't able to have that financial freedom. So then you're stuck. And then it's the status thing, like I was telling you before. It is hard. I don't know about any other area, but it is hard in this area. We lead with what we do. Like, some people might know what you do before they know your name in this area. Like, hey, I'm Kelly. I work for. Like, we don't even say I'm the wife of, I'm so-and-so mom. No. Let me tell you who I am so you can know how educated I am. You can potentially know how much money I make, because we, in the government, we work on a scale. So if somebody say they're a GS-14, you already know. That okay, so that's about 120 and beyond. So it's like it's a thing. And I had to give that up to say I'm a teacher. And everybody like, oh, like feeling bad. And are you sure? And I consulted with so many friends that are teachers. Everybody told me not to do this. Like everybody was like, no, I'm gonna be honest with you. Nah. If I had a chance to have your 6 figures or stay as a teacher, I would run with the 6 figures. I don't care what they got me doing. And the job wasn't hard. And it was finances. It was natural. It was good. Like I felt important. I felt valued, all of that. But I didn't feel like I was working in a purpose that God had for me. So I was like, what am I worth? And I can tell you that my family lifestyle has not changed. Not to the point where I can really notice it. I mean, we haven't gone on vacation, but that's because of COVID, I believe. Like, we on our way to Universal Studios. But for the most part, we still eat out. Lido's is in my kitchen on my island right now. We went and got a whole extra dog. And Miko is like a dilute Boston that looked like a Frenchie. He was the most expensive dog I ever bought. And ever. All my dogs was free. Okay? Except for Dallas. We did buy Dallas. But Miko was like 3 times the price of Dallas. So we were able to buy a dog in the pandemic. The kids still want for nothing. I want for nothing. And I really have adopted this whole minimalist type of lifestyle that really goes along with the route and drive that I have now. I just really had to think about what do I want in life? Like, what is my goal? Where am I going? And what does God have for me? I had to spend a lot of time in prayer. And if that is your situation, like you're like, I want to do this, but I won't make as much money. One, you do have to look at the money situation. I'm not going to tell you to leave your 6-figure job and you go and make $20,000 and then you end up in a bad financial situation. I told you I paid my debt off first. And then I planned how I was going to leave my position. And then I made sure I had a security blanket that was out of this world. Like, when I tell you, my husband was like, this gonna make me feel comfortable. He threw out a figure, y'all. I wish I could tell y'all without feeling like I was putting too much information out there. It was a lot. Even I was like, you saying that because you don't want me to leave. But if you know Kelly, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that. And I did. Put all that money in the bank to make my husband comfortable. And that was something else. I wanted him to be on my side. Like, I wanted his support. I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm going to do it. It's my life. It's my career. I can change if I want to. That's my best friend. I wanted my best friend to be there with me, to be in sync. And us both agree with the move. I've seen that go far left with other couples, and I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do. Matter of fact, us just not coming from the wedding I was telling you about, that is advice that I tell everybody. Like, know that you cannot make your spouse do anything. Please choose a person that is going to consider your feelings and think things through. Like, marry your best friend. I married my best friend. And so it was important to me that he supported and that we made that decision. Just in case also things didn't go the way it was. He wasn't looking at me like, you put us in a situation. Have there been thoughts of doubt? Absolutely. Like I said, like, now I'm a teacher and it's like, it doesn't have as much and much clout. You can't sit there and be like, yeah, I'm a financial officer. I'm not a financial officer anymore. I'm a high school teacher. But I have noticed that comes with so many heartstrings, like so many people. And this isn't what I need, but a lot of people, so many people appreciate that. Like it's like a giving back type of situation. And I love that because that's what I wanted. I was like, I have something to give the people. I was able to learn these skills and I want to sow that into them. Like, there's a game that is played financially among people in a different class, that people that are in middle and lower class are in that game that they don't even know that they're playing. So they lose because they don't even know that they're in the game. So I have to at least teach my scholars the rules of the game of finances. Like, I want them to be financially free. Like, that is your first step to doing some of the things that God has for you to do. You can't donate to that church if you sitting there living paycheck to paycheck. You can't go on this missions trip. You can't sow into the business that you we're supposed to do if you don't have your finances correctly. So it was just important to me because it was taught to me and I wanted to teach it. And we are now required for graduation. Financial literacy is required. We are now required to teach that. So I'm very excited about that. Let me go through my list because I just was going off my heart. I thought I was going to type all this up and I was going to practice. It didn't happen like that. Oh, okay. So I have a note here about my kids seeing me stressed out and not liking my job. Appreciating it is not the same as liking it. Please know the difference. I appreciated the mess out of my job and all those who are a part of that job. But like is different. It's the same thing because I tell my husband, I like you. And he used to think that was weird until I explained, like is so different from love. Like, you know, love is this unconditional thing. I'm going to love you regardless. But like is set up like you are making me happy right now. You are a joy right now. In this moment right now, I likes you. So not liking my job and seeing my kids see me like that, I didn't want to teach them that was okay. Oh, you're supposed to struggle at work. Work not supposed to be fun. You're not supposed to use your gifts. You're supposed to work your gifts on the side and donate all your time to somebody else's business or some other field that you're not really passionate about. Like you're wasting your time and your talents. That's a position for somebody else, as a matter of fact. Give that person their gift. Relieve yourself of that so that they can go into the position that you are holding hostage. You're not even supposed to be there. Again, I'm not telling you to quit your job right now. I'm saying if that is on your heart, pray about it and make sure you are set up to be successful in the move that you want to make. Let's see. I talked about money. I talked about being a Christian. It was so discouraging to become a teacher in the beginning, y'all. Everybody was pooping on this industry. It was the pandemic. People were like, teachers not doing enough. And I happened to fall into a family, I feel, of teachers at my school. Amazing. My admin is amazing. If I can say her name right now, if she's listening, she know who she is. My admin is amazing. And she's been there since my day one. And I so appreciate her. The people who are on top, like your supervisors and your mentors, they all matter. And when I found out like she be loving on God and God be loving on her, I was like, that's the woman I want to be under. So I was like really excited about that. I told you about my prayer journal, being in sync with my husband, teaching being the hardest job ever. Don't let nobody else tell you different. It's the hardest job ever that I've been in. I told you about health insurance. Oh, no, I didn't. So the other half of health insurance is, guess what? The health insurance as a teacher is better than the health insurance that they give the senators and everybody that work for the government. Like, it amazed me. Like, the insurance, like, their medicine is like thousands of dollars. It really is. And so we ended up paying like hundreds of dollars with the government. Now it's free sometimes. Y'all, hands up. Like, it's free. Like, and when we do pay, it's like $1. It's like $1. Like, it was so much of a like a oh my goodness moment. My pharmacist was like, girl, you better shout. Like, my pharmacist was like, you better praise God on this phone. She was like, I know what your bill used to be. And I was like, you know, after having a medicine, my kids have to take their medicine all their life. So our pharmacists, like, they know us and stuff. We've been there. Like, they've been taking this medicine for years. And so they dropped my insurance with the government. And so it went back to the thousands of dollars. It was, and then there's 2 kids. You know, I have 3 kids, but 2 kids are sicklers. So 2 of them had to be on this medication. But we had a whole praise session on the phone. So that is that. Stress. Okay. I can't tell you that one job is not stressful and the other job is like easy breeze. Like, every job is going to come with its worries, especially with me and the personality type that I have. And not wanting to be perfect, but wanting to be the best I can be. I've definitely been up to 3 o'clock in the morning doing some lesson plans. Cause I want to give I want to sow into my kids. I don't just want to pass some information on and be like, y'all got that. Google it. I'm not a Google type of teacher. So there's that. Let's see. I'm looking at my time. It's 30 minutes. Let's see. Oh, yeah, let's talk about this. Hold on. I'm going to see if this thing is about to cut off. What you about to do? Okay, yeah, my phone had cut off. My battery is low. Okay, so never ever in my other careers was I able to take a real break when being a teacher. And I'm not trying to convert anybody to be a teacher, but I'm trying to tell y'all how good I feel about it. To the point where, again, it's summertime and I'm like, man, when is school about to start? But when I used to take breaks at another job, like go on vacation and stuff, it was like you knew that stack was waiting for you. The 50 million emails, somebody is on fire, so they probably called you during your vacation. You need to get briefed on all the meetings that you missed. So it's like this weight that's on you the whole time. You on vacation, you like, balloons. Brief. Oh, look at Mickey. I gotta do that report when I get back. Like, it's like I wasn't able to really relax. Y'all, when you a teacher, like a summer break is a real summer break. Like nobody calls me. Matter of fact, I called my supervisor and she was like, Kelly, like, is everything okay? Like, what are you calling me for? I had an issue with tech, but other than that, like, they really let you relax. And this is like a 2-month type, like, that's the kind of vacations that people get overseas. Like, that's holiday right there. So summer break, really break. I'm on schedule with my kids now. I'm in love with Sundays now. Like, Sundays, Monday, give me all the days. Like, all of them are the same now. Sunday used to be like, oh my gosh, please give me a headache. Lord, please, I want my stomach. Let it snow in May, Lord, let it snow. Like, it was crazy. I already told you, I'm completely passionate about what I do. Making a difference in my community, loving my scholars, serving others. I believe in the mission of my school, my county, my state, all of that. Public service still. So that is just, in my heart. When I was a government employee, public service. And now that I'm a teacher, still public service employee. I actually worked less as a federal employee. I did tell y'all that. But I think that's all. In essence, I want to wrap it up by saying, when God is speaking to you, you really have to listen. When things are not happening in the way that you want them to happen, you have to pray. You have to plan. Okay? It does not mean that the will of God is going to line up with your plan, but you are to seek God to see have an understanding. Get to know yourself. What are your gifts? Like, were you put here to work at Dunkin' Donuts? Because that smile that you deliver in the morning is everything to somebody. It very well could be. But then you have the other person that's working at Dunkin' Donuts and they hate it. They eating all the donuts. They becoming unhealthy. They skimping on this frosting. They messing up. That person don't need to be there. Go find what you're supposed to be doing. You are wasting time. And we are missing out on the gift that you have. You have something to deliver to this world. And you stuck in a Dunkin' Donuts. Obviously, I want Dunkin' Donuts right now. It's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm thinking about Dunkin' Donuts. But I just wanted to be encouraging to tell you that, God got you. Like, continue to pray about what you want. Figure out what your loves and passions are. And becoming financially free is a big part of you letting go of that fear that you may have of stepping out, especially if your career like mine is a hard step down. Like, I now make 1/3 of my income. I can tell you that much. Like, my husband was like, are you sure, Kelly? Like, are you sure? I don't think they paying you what you're worth. I know they're not paying me what I worth. I'm not here for them. Like, now, print, pray, slay, and teaching, I'm kind of where I was. And whatever I don't have, I feel like I don't need. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. So that is where I stand right now. Of course, stuff can change. I will try to keep y'all updated. Leave me any questions that you have below. I'll try to answer them. I honestly will. If you are a federal employee and you have those kind of questions, I'll let you know. If you are trying to be a teacher, I'll let you know. If you just need encouragement because you know that you're not where God wants you to be in the long run, I can let you know. So please like and comment below. I get in my comments. And I hope this video was very encouraging for somebody and is a blessing to someone. Oh my gosh, this was just, it was a lot for me, y'all, to like say all of this. Like, oh my gosh. But I hope that I did it in a way that helps you. All right. Who don't have to pray about this video? Okay. Battery died. Phone was full. It was a lot going on. But I'm back. The last thing that I wanted to explain was the doubt. The doubt was real. Not that I knew I should move. I knew God had me to move. It was more so, and then it was like seamless how I got the position, and the process was smooth. Like I was like, I don't have a degree to be a teacher. It was like, you have a master's in business. Cool. All of that process, the logistics of that was fine. It was me. It was inside me. I was like, God, I'm an introvert. Like, I'm introverted in a sense that, like, being on YouTube, like the face and all of that, this is a lot for me. And so I push myself to do things like this so I can grow. And so I was like, so you want me, like a part that I did not like about my previous position is doing the briefs, meaning that you're doing a whole bunch of presentations for higher ups, very important individuals in very important buildings and budgets and all of that. I did not enjoy that. It was like sweating and I'm nervous. That whole day is like, I'm not going to eat, all of that. And now you want me to stand in front of children, not any children, teenagers. Everybody knows teenagers, they have no chill. They don't have any cut cards. However you want to put it, they're going to say what's on their mind. They're going to let you know their feelings. They're not going to care about your feelings. They're very selfish individuals at times. And I had to stand in front of these individuals and deliver a message that I feel like is really important and I feel like they need. But today might be a chill day for them and they might be like down with Gadsden. So I was like, oh man, how am I going to do this? How am I going to? Then I had to teach on the internet, which I thought was going to be easier, but it was like nobody could coach me in that. Nobody can tell me how to do it. It was everybody's first time teaching online. So they're like, swim, Kelly. And I'm like, I can't swim. So that was something that it was like, you gotta, how like we say like walk by faith. I actually have something right here that says walk by faith. You know how they say walk by faith? I had to run by faith. Like I had to just jump in there, do it, just start swimming, paddling, do what you can type of thing. And eventually I became comfortable. I don't have it with me. No, I don't have it with me. But it's this little, I explained it in the videos. If you saw my videos where I was putting my classroom together, and that really does, those videos really do show like a piece of my heart towards my new career. Like I love it. And I have this basing brush that is my comfort stick. So I hold that in class. I still hold it more so just for look, and for feel, like the touch and stuff. But I used to hold it for comfort. Like I was like, I can't teach without holding this stick. Like I need something for my hands to do because I'm nervous. And I let the kids know that. And I was just really genuine and authentic with them. And I feel like that really helped our relationships grow. I did wellness checks with them. So I really cared about them as individuals, not just them as scholars. Like I need you to pass my class type of thing. And I think that all of that helped. But I didn't want you to think that like, I jumped in there and everything was just all gravy and everything was good. I definitely had hardships. I had to hope that my income for Print Pray Slave was going to stay the same. That's another part that I wanted to say to you guys. So there was a point in time when Print Pray Slave made more than I made at my government job, like my 6-figure job. But it was for a short period of time. So it wasn't like it made that much over the year. It just made that much during a couple of months during the pandemic. We were all at home. And I think people really wanted to get more in tune with their faith And some people honestly may have had the time more so than they had after the pandemic kind of like calmed down. And so now we're in that stage, and it's like I'm not getting as many sales as I needed. So what's going on with the money situation right there? And that again I had to have faith, but I also have that savings that my husband felt comfortable with, which also makes me feel comfortable. So again, it is faith, finances, walking, planning, being organized, sharing what I want to do with others that are going to maybe encourage me, maybe not encourage me. And that right there, you have to be prepared for some people to be like, you crazy. You don't do that. Listen to God. There's going to be some people in your corner, and then there's going to be some people that just don't understand. It doesn't mean that they don't love you or love is lost or they don't care. It's that they just don't understand. And for that reason, you have to be careful with who you tell your goals and your dreams to, and the messages that God gives you. Like, pay attention. Remember, Joseph, he messed around and told people about his dreams, and, stuff went left because they didn't see the same vision that he had. And it could have been the way he spoke them. So you can't go around saying, yeah, God about to deliver me from here. I'm not about to be a nurse no more. Y'all do y'all. You can't. Don't do that. Like, don't burn any bridges. Leave on a good note. And on the up and up, as folks say. And, be humble. Be humble in the point that God is taking you to a new place. Be excited about it. And continue to journal and pray even in the route that he now has you on. So hopefully all of this was helpful for somebody. I was hoping that what I had to share could be a blessing to help somebody go towards that goal that God has for them, help them in their prayers that they are saying while they are, being groomed by God to move into that direction, making sure they are clear and being able to hear him. I'm just hoping that I was encouraging. Like, that is a part of what I wanted to do with this video, was encourage somebody to go forth and leap and jump out there and have faith that God is taking them in a direction that he has for them. But you have to make sure that's what it is. Like, have that time with God. Don't just say, oh, this is my heart's desire. Surely that's what God wants for me. Talk to him. Like, talk to him. Pray, read, fast, meditate on his word, whatever you have to do in order to feel like you have a clear understanding of where you are going, what position you need to be in, and what steps you need to take, to be prepared for this new stage. Just as an example, some people say, I think I said this before, like they want to be married or they want to be a parent. And it's like, well, are you prepared? Like, I know that's what your heart desires. And if you already have that message from God that that's what you're supposed to have, maybe you're not there yet because you're not prepared. Maybe you need to be working on you in order to prepare yourself to be the mom, the dad, the wife, the husband, the aunt, or whatever you are striving to be, the teacher, the lawyer, the doctor, any of that. You have to make sure that you are aligned. Like, you need to be in sync and you need to be prepared. So that is all, people. I'm really hoping that this transparency is a blessing to somebody. I was very nervous about shooting this video. I just was like, oh, my family business is going to just be out there in the open. Like, YouTube videos are forever until you take them down. But I really believe so. I really believe that it's, as long as it's encouraging to at least one person, or at least made you smile or give me some claps or something, it was worth it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please put them in the comment section. Y'all know I answer my comments. I like each comment. I answer them, all of that. And let me know if there's something that, I can either pray with you about, or that you may need some guidance about. Like, if there's any government employees out there or somebody that is interested in being a teacher, you can let me know. Anything outside of those industries, I will try to help guide you. Especially like with the financial literacy background. Like, if you have a question, just shoot the question in the comment section and I'll try to help you as best as I can. I really am here, and I'm doing this again for help and encouragement to someone else who may be in my position, because it is definitely hard to walk away from the lifestyle that you've known, the pay that you feel like you deserve, into something that a lot of people don't seem to value nowadays. Not that education isn't what they value, it's the position of being a teacher. Sometimes it's not as held up high as the position that I came from. So sometimes that matters. So thank you so much for watching. All right. Bye, people.